Let's try this again. What's up, everybody? In this video, we're going to talk about some good news, some bad news. Let's start off with the bad. So we had an update from the Atlanta Fed. Our new estimate is a negative 2.5% for the GDP, and this was posted today, April 24. Our previous was a negative 2.2 on April 17, so this has gotten worse. Keep an eye out for the next update. This is going to be Tuesday, April 29. Now, another piece of what I would say is some bad news. China denied claims that the US and China are working together trying to solve something for these tariffs. While Trump said Wednesday that China and the US are actively talking, a Chinese foreign ministry spokesperson responded saying that China and the US have not engaged in any consultations or negotiations regarding tariffs, let alone reached an agreement. He also added that while China is open to negotiations, if it's a fight, we will fight to the end. Now, there was a video on Trump talking about this the other day, kind of softening his tone. The US is going to be very nice. The final tariffs will not be anywhere near the current 145. And this was on the same day that Trump said Powell will not be fired. And that while Trump urges Powell to cut rates, the media apparently ran away with this story that Trump wanted to fire Powell. I personally believe he's just using him as sort of a scapegoat, blaming him on the reason that interest rates aren't going down, pointing the blame at Powell for keeping the rates elevated. The reality is the Fed has continued to reiterate a goal of 2% inflation, and we don't yet know the ramifications of the tariffs. How does this affect CPI, PPI, PCE? The Fed has reiterated a wait-and-see approach, which I think isn't the worst idea. But here's a post from Trump on Truth Social, basically calling Powell Mr. Too Late, a major loser, lowering interest rates for the Biden administration, but not for the Trump administration. Don't forget, Powell was put in his position by Trump. That makes me believe this is just kind of a scapegoat thing, and it'll all be forgotten within days. I just find it kind of funny that he'll say one thing and then the complete opposite, and then deny the first thing, deny the second thing. In the end, politicians are all the same. Now, I might have touched on this yesterday, but I honestly don't really remember. We basically have a new Microstrategy in the making. And this is with Cantor Fitzgerald. CEP is the ticker symbol. It's a SPAC, and they plan on merging with 21 Capital. Now, 21 Capital is led by Jack Mallers and Brandon Lutnick, and if this deal goes through, this will be a 42,000 Bitcoin purchase, which is about 3.6 billion last I checked. I wanted to show you the market cap of this company real quick. This CEP stock that has been absolutely going crazy is now a 421 million market cap. Last I looked at it, it was like 200 million. I'm wondering where this goes. Does it go to 3 point something billion, which would be the Bitcoin that it would potentially hold if the merger is approved? If this falls apart, this will obviously tank. But I'm wondering where this ends up going. One thing to consider that makes this complicated: public SPAC shareholders will only retain a 2.7% ownership. Does this deserve to be a $3 billion market cap? Here's the public SPAC shareholders, which would be a 2.9% of the total ownership. Tether gets the vast majority, then Bitfinex, SoftBank. Let me know where you guys think this goes, because I have no idea actually. Now, I do want to talk about this Fidelity article, and it talks about Bitcoin on exchanges, but I'll show you in a second. I don't know if they're right or wrong. Bitcoin reserves on cryptocurrency exchanges have fallen to the lowest level since November of 2018. And here's a little thing from Fidelity: 2.6 million Bitcoin on exchanges, the lowest level since 2018. Over 425,000 Bitcoin moved off exchanges since November of 2024. Public companies have added nearly 350,000 Bitcoin post-election, and public companies have bought over 30,000 Bitcoin per month so far in 2025. Now, according to Coinglass, we are not at our lowest low. So the lowest Bitcoin on exchange number I can find is February 4th, 2025. There was 2.15 million Bitcoin on exchanges, and now it's sitting at like 2.26, like they mentioned, right? Oh, no, they mentioned 2.6 million, not 2.26 million. So I don't know where they're getting their numbers from. Maybe Coinglass is delayed or wrong. Maybe Fidelity is wrong. Always cross-examine things. Don't just go with the article and blindly believe it. And another thing about a lot of these articles is companies just jump on them together. You'll see one article and then 3 more companies will basically copycat it and follow suit. And as a side note, I've learned that Forbes articles are basically always posted as the same type of clickbait. You have to pay to read them. They don't bring anything extra to the table. And it's always something about a leak, mind-blowing. It's almost like YouTube with those kind of clickbaity titles. I avoid Forbes, anything Forbes like the plague essentially. Cointelegraph, blockchain news, bitcoin.com, and then of course you have your traditional news companies. They can be okay, but I basically avoid everything Forbes, everything Bloomberg, You can find these same articles for free usually. And like I said, usually they don't bring anything extra to the table. Usually it's like clickbaity titles and very similar titles to the day before and the day before that and the day before that. Now I wanted to talk about the spot Bitcoin ETFs. What's been going on lately? Well, IBIT clocks again their highest inflow in 3 months. This seems to be news almost every other day. They hit a highest inflow in multiple months yesterday, the day before that. Something like that. Maybe not exactly 3 days in a row. But I think you understand what I'm trying to say. We have been seeing massive inflows lately, like we have not seen in multiple months. We're back, baby! And also, IBIT won some awards. IBIT was the recipient of Crypto ETP of the Year. Okay, but what about this? This is the big thing if you ask me. IBIT was awarded Best New ETF at the annual ETF.com Awards. And these awards came on the same day that we saw a massive inflow. 643 million in inflow. Almost beats January 21, which was 661 million. IBIT now has $53 billion worth of net assets, and in the last 30 days, it has traded on average 45.02 million shares per day. And IBIT was the majority of the $917 million seen across all of the Bitcoin ETFs that day. This was the second day in a row with over 900 million in inflows, amid most of the month showing outflows, fear, panic, and look at us now. Take advantage of the worry. Bitcoin is not going away. Bitcoin is in Wall Street. It is cemented in now. It's not going away. Couldn't be any more obvious. I don't care. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Night mode. Yeah, night mode's better. And also, we have a record-breaking 72 ETFs, crypto-related, waiting for SEC approval. And as said by Eric Balchunas, everything from XRP, Litecoin, Solana, Penguins, Doge, 2x Melania, everything in between. It's gonna be a wild year. Goodbye, Gary Gensler. Under the new leadership of Paul Atkins, the commission has signaled a more constructive stance towards crypto regulation. Atkins has pledged to address long-standing industry complaints, inconsistent guidance, regulatory uncertainty. The current SEC has prioritized defining clearer rules for the road for digital asset markets. Atkins recently told Congress a top priority of my chairmanship will be to work with my fellow commissioners and Congress to provide a firm regulatory foundation for digital assets through a rational, coherent, and principled approach. I don't think people are bullish enough on Bitcoin. People are worried at the day-to-day. People are worried about recent downtrends, not taking advantage. In my opinion, the cycle is still well within play. Nothing has broken it yet. This pullback certainly hasn't. We've seen pullbacks like this, similar to late 2024 when we went all the way down to 49K, then recovered to new all-time highs. And funny enough, we just got out of a death cross. All death crosses this cycle so far have marked the bottom within days. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is going to be the death cross that doesn't follow through with a rally? Do you think we're getting too late in the cycle and people are going to start getting a little hesitant, getting a little shaky, getting ready to sell early, getting ready to get out, which starts a cascading effect? Or do you think this cycle will play out like all past cycles have and we end this year much higher in price, hitting new all-time highs, seeing the Bitcoin miners getting back to profitability rather than burning cash, and seeing these spot Bitcoin ETFs continue to post inflow after inflow, more and more public companies getting into Bitcoin? There's just so many good things going on, and people are fixated on the day by day, which I think is a massive mistake. But thanks as always, guys. Always appreciate your comments and opinions. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.